Hello and welcome to Byju's Exam Prep IAS. Before we begin today's daily quiz, an important announcement. We are bringing to you a very exclusive UPSC knowledge series starting from 6th of June 2022 on our YouTube channel of Byju's IAS. In this series, in the next 50 days, starting from the 6th of June, our faculties will be discussing with you the most important static topics from all the subjects of the UPSC Civil Service Examination syllabus. Every day at 10 a.m. and at 3 p.m. These will be live videos that will come up on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you do hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon as well to get the notification of all these videos. These are specifically designed for those students who are preparing for the 2023 and attempts after those. Do join in for this series starting from the 6th of June 2022. Now let's begin today's daily quiz. Question number 1 is here on your screen. Consider the following statements with regards to international trains. Number 1. The Samjhauta Express ran between India and Pakistan. Second, the Thar Express provided direct connectivity between India and Pakistan on the basis of the Shimla Agreement. Third, the Maitri Express connects India and Nepal. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The correct answer here is A. 1 and 2 are correct. These were the two trains that ran between India and Pakistan. However, they are not running as of now because of the situation that we have between India and Pakistan with the two sides not trusting each other. The third statement is wrong. The Maitri Express is actually a train between India and Bangladesh. There is no train connectivity between India and Nepal as of today. In fact, the reason why we're asking this question to you is because India and Bangladesh have now started a new cross border passenger train called the Mitali Express. This Mitali Express has been flagged off on Wednesday. This is a new bi-weekly train that will connect New Jalpaiguri in north part of West Bengal with Dhaka in Bangladesh. The Maitri Express, on the other hand, which has been mentioned in this particular question, statement number 3, connects Dhaka in Bangladesh to Kolkata. The Maitri Express, as you would know, means a friendship express between the two sides. It was re-established in 2008 after a gap of about 43 years between the two sides. Next, question number 2. The Har Ghar Dastak campaign is associated with which of the following? For those who don't speak Hindi, Har Ghar Dastak means knock on every door. Number 1, the census exercise. Number 2, Mission Indradhanush. Third, the polio vaccination. Or fourth, the COVID-19 vaccination. The correct answer here is D. This campaign is with regards to the COVID-19 vaccination. The reason why we are discussing this question is because the second phase of the Har Ghar Dastak movement has begun from the side of the government. This has commenced across the country to ensure complete COVID 19 vaccination of all the eligible beneficiaries, especially in the age group of 12 to 14 years, and precaution dose for those who are above 60. I also hope that all of you who are watching this video have taken your vaccinations and also the booster shots if you are eligible for that. The first campaign of Har Ghar Dastak was launched in November 2021. Right now, about 96.3% of those who are above 15 years of age in India have received at least one dose, while 86.3% people in India have gotten both the doses of the vaccine, which is a very, very good number if you compare with other nations around the world, including the developed nations. Next, question number 3. Consider the following statements with regards to the IMF's, that is International Monetary Fund's, extended fund facility, also called as EFF. Number 1. The EFF was established to provide assistance to countries experiencing serious payment imbalances because of structural impediments or slow growth and an inherently weak balance of payment position. Second, the amount drawn under the EFF are to be repaid over 4.5 to 10 years in 12 equal semi-annual installments. And third, the extended arrangements are usually approved for a period of 3 years but may be approved for periods as long as 4 years to implement deep and sustained structural reforms. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The correct answer here is D. All the three given statements with regards to IMF's extended fund facility are correct. The reason why it is in the news is because in our neighborhood, Sri Lanka has yet again gone to the IMF seeking $3 billion under the extended fund facility. These are just talks being conducted between the two sides, and Sri Lanka is hoping that this money would be approved. If approved, this will be the 17th plan that IMF has passed for Sri Lanka. It requires the nations to make structural economic reforms to correct the deep rooted weaknesses. The article also says that the program normally lasts between 3 years with a grace period of 4.5 years to start paying back the loan once the plan is approved by the IMF. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to the National Green Tribunal, the NGT. Number 1. The members of the NGT shall hold office for a term of 5 years and are not eligible for reappointment. Second, the tribunal is not bound by the procedure laid down by the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 but shall be guided by the principles of natural justice. Third, the NGT is mandated to make disposal of applications or appeals finally within 6 months of filing of the same. Which of these given statements is or are correct? I'm sure all of you would have read in detail about the NGT, the kind of cases that the NGT hears, and the different provisions with regards to the NGT. And thus, you would know the correct answer here is D, since all the three given statements with regards to the NGT are correct. Do remember, if there is any quasi-judicial body that is established by the government with a purpose of giving expedited justice or having a specific time limit within which they have to give their decision, these kind of bodies will never be bound by the Code of Civil Procedure, because if they would be bound by that, they would never be able to give decision within a given permissible time limit. That is why second and third statements will always be true together. If one is not true, the other also would not be true. The reason why we're discussing this question is because the Supreme Court has set aside NGT's ban on construction in the Rushikonda Hills in Vishakhapatnam. The Supreme Court said that the orders in this regard about construction at the Rushikonda Hills given by NGT and the State High Court are contradictory to each other. The Supreme Court bench also said that NGT is subordinate to the High Courts and thus the jurisdiction of the High Court is superior to that of the NGT. And that is why the NGT's decision to ban construction on the Rushikonda Hills has been held by the Supreme Court. Next, we have a previous year question from 2021. Consider the following statements. Number 1. In India, there is no law restricting the candidates from contesting in one Lok Sabha election from 3 constituencies. Second, in 1991 Lok Sabha elections, Shri Devi Lal contested from 3 Lok Sabha constituencies. Third, as per the existing rules, if a candidate contests in one Lok Sabha election from many constituencies, his or her party should bear the cost of by-elections to the constituencies vacated by him or her in the event of him or her winning in all the constituencies. Which of these given statements is or are correct? Now, all these details are those that you should be aware of in terms of how elections are contested in India. As you know, as of today, a person can contest at the most from 2 Lok Sabha constituencies in one Lok Sabha election. For example, in 2019, Rahul Gandhi contested from 2 Lok Sabha seats. In 2014, Narendra Modi also contested from 2 Lok Sabha seats. So there is a limit that maximum seats from where you can contest Lok Sabha elections are 2. So first statement is wrong. Second is true. How? Because his rule of 2 constituencies at max was introduced in 1996. So before that, in 1991, yes, Shri Devi Lal from Haryana did contest on 3 Lok Sabha seats and interestingly lost out on all these 3 seats. The third statement is also wrong. Let's say if you're contesting from 2 Lok Sabha seats, let's say in 2014, Prime Minister Modi contested from Varanasi and from Vadodara. He won both the seats, so he vacated the Vadodara seat. When the Election Commission of India conducts by-election on the vacated seat, it is the Election Commission of India only that will bear the expenses and not the candidate. So third statement also is wrong. The correct answer here is B. 2 only is correct. 1 and 3 are wrong. Do make a note of this because these kind of questions about elections and political parties are pretty common in the prelims examination. Next, we have a fact of the day, and today we will be discussing about liquid nano urea that has been in the news, especially with respect to Sri Lanka demanding the same from India, and also Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurating India's first liquid nano urea plant in Gujarat. Now, how is it different from conventional urea and how it can be helpful for India's agriculture in the long run is what we are going to be discussing today. The liquid nano urea is produced by IFCO, which stands for Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited. Now, one of the reasons why the government has been putting a lot of focus on alternatives to urea is that the union government has to pay a huge subsidy bill for urea. So much so that Government of India's fertilizer subsidy bill this financial year will be about rupees 2 lakh crore. So government also has been looking for alternatives for a long time. IFCO says that a bottle of nano urea can effectively replace one bag of conventional urea. So do understand this. For one bag of conventional urea, the farmer pays about 300 rupees. It's a 50 kg bag. It's a highly subsidized price. On the other hand, this half kg bottle, which IFCO says can replace this bag, would only cost rupees 240 at market price without any subsidy. As the article says, the international market price for a bag of urea is 3500 to 4000 rupees, while the farmers are only paying rupees 300 for the same. So you can imagine how much subsidy is the government spending from their own pocket. Now you all know urea artificially provides nitrogen to the plants. On the other hand, the liquid nano urea contains 4% nitrogen by volume and it is in the form of nanoparticles, which is why the efficiency of liquid nano urea is much higher than a conventional urea. While conventional urea has an efficiency of 25%, the liquid nano urea can touch an efficiency of up to 90%. This is because in conventional urea, a lot of nitrogen is vaporized and it is lost in the form of a gas. This lost nitrogen is then washed away during irrigation and does not really impact the plant and its growth. The other good part about liquid nano urea is that it has a shelf life of about an year. Thus, all things considered, it is a landmark movement that the Prime Minister has inaugurated India's first liquid nano urea plant in Gujarat. Over 3.5 crore bottles of this urea have already been produced at this plant, and in the coming days, the capacity of this plant would further increase. These units will have a production facility of 2 lakh bottles per day, which will be extremely beneficial for the entire country. IFCO is also in the process of setting up other facilities for the production of nanoparticles at Amla in UP, Bangalore, Paradeep, Kandla, Guwahati, etc. This is it for today's daily quiz video. Thank you so much for watching.